next day. I just poured my Butterfield ProGuard 350 through a strainer into this clean bucket. Now what Tom did on his last countertop, and I really liked it, he put a little bit of flattening paste in it to take away 40–50% of the shine. So it's a flatter look. It's a matte look, not a high gloss shine look. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same here. So this is just a paste, and 1 can does 5 gallons of sealer. So I'm just going to take a little bit and stir it in here until it dissolves. See how it's starting to just melt away. So once I mix that all up, I'll put it through a strainer into my spray gun. When I'm done here, I'm going to clean my workbench off here, and I'll show you how I make my step liners again. I did that last year. I make a couple every year, and I'll go through that with you again for the new viewers, in case you're interested in making some. Couple more stirs. Ready to go. Okay, with the countertop completely dry, my sealer is on the bench ready to go. So now I get some tack rags. These are real sticky. I just get them at Home Depot. Any paint store has them, Sherwin-Williams. You can get them pretty much anywhere. And they're not very expensive, so use them. You can feel a little bit of grit on there. With that, you're going to be able to see it. Just picking up some dust off of there. Nice and slow. Flip. Okay, give it one final stir. There's a couple little pieces in there that just need to dissolve, but most of it is gone. So I use my car sprayer for this sealer. I have an inline regulator to cut it down to about 25 psi, and upstairs in my big shop I have a water separator built into the line, so I don't need one down here. If you didn't have that, you can put a little water separator right here between the two. You don't want water in your air coming through contaminating the sealer, but that's why I don't have a water separator, because I have one upstairs in the shop. So I'll go ahead and get this set up into the sprayer, and we'll get busy spraying. So with a new strainer, put right on top of the gun. And again, upstairs I have a bracket on my workbench that this hangs on, so that I can fill it with paint when I'm painting a trailer or a piece of machinery or a car or something. Here, I'm just going to have to hold it. So don't laugh at me too much when I spill it everywhere. It's about 3/4 full, so I'm going to stop there. That should be plenty. You can see all the debris that got caught in the strainer. That would clog up the spray gun, so that's why we strain everything.
Okay, so I've switched spray guns. That one was clogged, so I went up and got my good one. I'll clean that one out better. I didn't want to take the time and do that now. I'll bring you for a close-up. Sealer, no sealer. Okay, first coat is all done. I say this on my regular stamp work as well. Now you just gotta walk away. Like I see a little spot right here that I want to hit again, but don't. Just walk away from it. We'll give this a buffing, a light sanding, and come back and hit it all again. It'll just settle out. And that'll be it. Okay, on to my final step.
The countertops downstairs are all done, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get those big countertops in, from here to the house installed? So I made this drawing. I'm going to try and build this. It's going to be on wheels. I can use my excavator or skid loader to hook on here and pick this contraption up. The countertops are going to slide down and set in here one at a time. I'm going to make 2 of them. So here's where the wheels will go. I'm going to have some supports going down, and then the countertops are going to slip right in here. This is all upside down. I should have started with that. This is upside down, wheels, supports, a crossbar, and then a pickup point. So I'm not going to film building this. I did that last year and I ruined one of my cameras whenever I was welding. So I'll just keep you posted as I put this together, and hopefully it'll work. Okay, I realize this isn't making too much sense right now. This is my upright. I just tacked all the corners. Now I have it laying down and clamped. As I'm welding these, I don't want these tubes to flex one way or the other. So I have my 90s here. These are just magnets helping to hold them square. And everything's clamped down. I'll go ahead and get these welded up. So my frame is built. The wheels are going here and here. This one is going to be fixed. I'm welding this up solid. Our biggest countertop is usually 2 1/4. I did a fireplace mantle one time that was 3 inches. So I just gave myself a little bit of room here. I want to put some padding against this so this never scratches the concrete countertop. This side, I want to make so that, so that this piece opens up. And we can slide the countertops in, stand them up, and then close this and wedge it in there. So that's what I have to design next. Donna just called, breakfast is ready, heading down the house. Going along good. Now I'm gonna start getting my bracing in here. I'm gonna have a pickup point right here in the middle. I don't want this bar bending. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and weld that. I'm just a little bit off center, but pretty close. If I heat that up, maybe I could tap that over a little bit. Now it's starting to come together where it might make some sense. My countertop's going to sit right on top of this bar. And then I'm going to pick this whole contraption up from this center point right here. So now I need a pickup point. So I have these 1/2-inch plates. And I'll just go ahead and cut this off, and we'll just rounding that off. And I'll weld it to the side. I was thinking about putting it on top. I might go on top. I just wanted to be away from the countertop as much as I could. If I go on the side, then I can weld across here as well as across the bottom. So I think I'll do that for the double weld, and that'll get my nut and bolt a little bit further away. So I'll draw this out here better, but it's going to be something like that. Okay? Okay, so this is the shape I'm just nipping off these corners. This is my center line. This is my weld line. So I'll cut these corners off, and I'll make 2 of them. Then I'll drill a nice, probably a 1/2-inch hole right here, and get my bracket set up for the pickup point. So I don't think this will be too bright for the camera. This is my plasma cutter. The tricky part is making them the same. Looks pretty good. Line this up on another piece of 1/2-inch stock and just draw it out. So that's the piece I want. They'll be pretty close to identical. So I'll go ahead and get this one cut the same way and bring you up to speed. Okay, so this is going to get welded right here. I'm using 2-inch bar. I'll use this as a swivel. That way my connection is all up here away from the countertop. So I'm coming down 1 inch from the top, center. And drilling a hole. Okay, I was standing a little too close for the camera, so I just drilled a hole through here, nice and slow. So it's much easier than using a hand drill and going through there. You'd have to do it with several bits, 1/4 inch, 3/8 and 1/2 inch. Okay, so next step. Before I weld my bracket on there, I just do a test pickup and make sure that I am centered, because when there's countertops on here, I want to pick it up straight. I don't want it teetering to one end. So it looks like it picked it up pretty even. So I'll go ahead and weld that right in place. I cut this little bracket out of a piece of 1/2 inch stock, clamped it to the post. I have 3 inches between here and here, so I just clamping steel across so I'm nice and straight and level across the top. Same thing over here. This piece of angle iron is actually holding this piece up off the bottom. So I put my 1/2 inch bolts in, snugged them up. They're not tight yet, they're just snug. And then I clamp my brackets to my leg. That way, whenever this folds down, there's a little wiggle room in this corner and this corner. All right, I'll get this welded up, and I'll have to put my pivot point over here, and it's coming together pretty good. I wish I could video welding, but I know it'll hurt the camera. Yeah, I got that all welded up. I took my clamps off. Now you can see how that will fold down. This was just a spacer I had here. So now we can slide the countertop in, tilt it up, and close it up. And then I can transport, get it into the kitchen or basement, wherever we're going. And again, lay it back down and put it in place. So I got to put the wheels on it. I have sitting right there. I'm going to do another pickup point on this side so that on the big stuff I can grab it with my excavator and carry it around to the backyard if it's an outdoor barbecue. A couple little things I want to do yet just to make it look better. So stay tuned.